Welcome to the Heavy Spoilers Show. I'm your host Definition, and this is where we break down all the latest movie news, recently released games, TV shows and comic books. In this video we're going to be going over one of the biggest mysteries that has surrounded the Star Wars saga since the release of The Force Awakens back in 2015. That is the true identity of Reys Parents. Throughout this video I'm going to be breaking down the best fan theories as well as what the recently released leaks reveal about the character's true lineage. Due to the nature of this video there is potentially heavy spoilers here, and whilst all leaks like this should be taken with a pinch of salt, if they turn out to be true then it may ruin the movie for you. I'll leave those leaks to last, so if you just want to stick with the fan theories I'll give you another heads up before we get to them. Anyway, with that out of the way, I just want to give a huge thank you for clicking this video. Now let's get into our breakdown of who Reys' parents are. Okay, so the first theory is that Reys' parents are indeed nobodies that abandoned her on Jakku. This is due to the line that Kylo says in The Force Awakens, in which the character states, "They were filthy junk traders, sold you off for drinking money. They're dead in a pauper's grave in the Jakku desert. You have no place in this story, you come from nothing." Whilst this is definitely likely and the evidence is there to support it, in a recent interview with ABC, J.J. Abrams said the following when discussing her lineage. "I will say that we knew going into this that this movie, it had to be a satisfying conclusion. And we were well aware that the discussion surrounding Reys' parents is one of the things that's been out there. I don't want to say what happens in episode 8 didn't happen, we have honoured that, but I will say that there's more to the story than you've seen. So it does indeed seem like they may be sticking with the original point put across in The Last Jedi, but that they will be building upon it in several interesting ways. We have seen throughout the Star Wars franchise in the case of Anakin that it is possible for paupers and peasants to become massively important in the galaxy, and the Force isn't prejudiced when it comes to picking people that have great power with it. Reys' parents could indeed be nobodies, and she could just happen to be lucky, able to wield the Force in the way that she does without any training due to her natural abilities. However, if this does turn out to be true, it seems slightly against JJ's original vision, and we can guess from the comments that he made that the creator does indeed have a few tricks up his sleeve. I thought I'd put this in first as it's pretty much the one that we all know about, but the list definitely gets more interesting the further we get into it. The next theory that seems to be picking up a lot of steam is that Rey is actually Han Solo's daughter, but to make matters more complicated, she's not Leia and is in fact the child of Qi'ra from Solo: A Star Wars Story. The theory states that Solo and Qi'ra had a child together, and after the latter got in too deep with gangsters, she fled to Jakku with her new partner, where they were eventually tracked down and killed, thus leaving Rey on her own. This makes a lot of sense and definitely ties in with some of the lore thus far, retroactively making Solo a better movie and Rey more tied to the franchise than we previously thought. If Reys' parents were indeed paupers and junk traders, then this lines up with Qi'ra, who definitely lived a life of poverty and crime. Qi'ra also has no qualms about cutting people off, even the ones that she loves, and in Solo: A Star Wars Story, we get just how cutthroat that she is when she abandons Han in the close of the movie. This theory would also add a lot of weight as to why Han took such a shine to Rey on their first meeting, and who knows, maybe he saw something in her that reminded him of the woman he lost all those years ago. However, it would mean that Qi'ra was either pregnant and gave birth to a child before she met back up with Han in the movie, or that the two bumped into each other once more after the events of the film. If this is the case, then it means that Rey and Kylo are actually half sister and brother, and that Kylo actually killed her true father, making him a much bigger threat in her eyes. I don't know if this theory will turn out to be true, but it actually sounds like a pretty cool one that nicely ties the spin-off movie into the main universe. It would be devastating for Rey to know that she actually had found her father, but was robbed of this relationship by Kylo, and out of all of the theories that are out there, this is one of my favourites. Mirroring this is the theory that she may even be the secret child of Han and Leia, and this would explain how she is so powerful with the Force. There's actually precedence for this already in the Star Wars universe, as in the original expanded works that were released before the sequel saga wiped the slate clean, Han and Leia had two children, one named Jason and the other named Jaina, who were both strong Jedi. Jason ended up turning to the dark side, and this put the two into conflict in a battle that spanned the galaxy. Where this falls down though is that Leia has spent a lot of time with Rey, and surely due to her Force sensitivity, she would begin to suspect that they were related. Kylo mentions nothing of a long lost sister, and the two parents don't really seem like the kind of people who would ditch their daughter, especially with how much effort they both put into saving Kylo from walking down a dark path. This theory would be fun, but I think it's a little too tied to the original series, and it doesn't really feel like the big twist that there should be for the character who has went so long agonizing over who her true parents are. Whilst all the theories mentioned thus far have been things that would be cool little reveals, the final theory may just blow your mind. Now I did promise to give you all a heads up before we got into the leaks part of the video, so if you made it this far but want to duck out, then thanks for watching, but now's the time to go. Are you still here? Okay, good. So the leaks that were recently released by Reddit user Jedi Paxis drop a massive spanner in the works for Rey. The user has got numerous leaks right thus far, including C-3PO's red eyes long before the previous trailer released, as well as the return of Palpatine before we ever heard that instantly recognizable cackle in the trailer. Anyway, the user has said that in the upcoming film, Kylo maintains that while her parents are nobodies, her grandparents, more specifically her grandfather, isn't. In a big twist of fate, Kylo tells Rey that she is the granddaughter of Palpatine and that he has been watching her for a long time. This explains his interest in bringing the random nobody from Jakku into the fold, and also why she is so strong with the Force. It also adds weight to why when she was training to be a Jedi, her mind tended to wander to the dark side, and this may be her grandfather's influence. This is a theory that has floated about online now for the past 4 years, and it definitely seems to have a lot of fans behind it. Everything from her Imperial accent to her lightsaber fighting style seems to line up with things that he would have instilled in his children, who then instilled it into her. Palpatine is definitely the kind of guy to cast his offspring to the side if they didn't live up to expectation, and perhaps one of Rey's parents, who was the child of old Palpy, was disowned after they were clearly unconnected from the Force. Maybe, similar to how many theorise that Palpatine manipulated the midichlorians to create life like he did with Anakin, Palpatine could have done the same with Rey's mother, and therefore created a new, extremely powerful Jedi who he sees as the next one to carry the torch. The leak also states that Palpatine's plan in The Rise of Skywalker is to build anger in Rey to the point that she lashes out and takes him down in the same stroke, taking his place as the ruler of the Empire and a new dark force in the universe. This is backed up by images that show Rey as a Sith, and whilst they are definitely a vision of what could come to pass, it makes sense that Palpatine would be manipulating her in this way to turn to the dark side. He clearly has no qualms about dying in order to create a new Dark Lord, and in Return of the Jedi we watch as he taunted Luke in order to get him to strike him down and take his place. It's definitely a really interesting idea, and if this is the big reveal in the movie, then I have to admit I won't be disappointed. I've already done a full breakdown of all of the leaks if this has piqued your interest, but yeah, sign me up to the idea of Pimp Palpatine that went through the galaxy having kids in order to bring them up to be rulers of the universe. Either that or Qi'ra, JJ, anyone will do, just please don't ruin Star Wars anymore. We are begging you. Now obviously I'd love to hear your thoughts on who you think Rey's parents are and which one of these theories that you like the best. Comment below and let me know, and if you enjoyed this video then please give it a thumbs up, and make sure you check out my breakdown of how Palpatine survived the ending of The Return of the Jedi and how he will come back for The Rise of Skywalker. We go over all of the possible theories and evidence to support them, so it's definitely worth checking out if you want to know more. If you want to come chat to me after the video, then make sure you follow me on Twitter at DefinitionYT, or head over to my Discord server, which will be linked in the description below. Those are the best ways to keep up to date with all the latest videos on the channel, so hopefully I see you over there very soon. We're also giving away a free copy of the Marvel Phase 3 Part 1 box set on Blu-ray, which contains Civil War, Doctor Strange, Homecoming, Ragnarok and more, and all you have to do to be in with a chance of winning is like the video, make sure that you subscribe to the channel, and leave your thoughts on Reys Parents in the comments section below. The winner is going to be chosen on the 15th of November, and the set will be shipped out from then to whoever gets the prize, so best of luck to everyone who takes part. This is the channel for people who are mad into movies, so if that's the kind of thing you like, hit subscribe. Thanks again for taking the time to watch this. I've been Definition, you've been the best, and I'll see you next time. Take care, peace.